Hello to all Growatt owners out there. And this will be a little bit a longer video because I finally I finalized the secret drawings of my super nice and clean winter night saving mode. Yeah. So as you can see, you cannot see anything because the inverters are off. And why is that? Because we have right now Germany time 22:19. At this time there's no sun obviously coming from the roof, or no energy coming from the roof, and no sun is outside. And yeah, and unfortunately the inverters are, here's this battery is at 1821, so we are around about 20% SOC, and that's why this circuit here switched off everything to save a lot of energy overnight and switched over to grid, yeah, which is right now source B. So you see, everything works fine. This inverter, don't check this inverter because this inverter is not connected right now, will come in the future. So we have two inverters in parallel, and yeah, they are not working anymore as soon as the battery is below a special SOC percentage, which is configured in the host inverter, and there's no sun coming from the roof. So with that said, I present you right now my circuit drawings, and trust me, I did this right now 3 times to get it a little bit more cleaner and more better to understandable. Yeah, and I would also like to start with some preconditions to that. So first thing, I will not give any warranty that this is working for you or in your special case. Yeah. The second thing is, you should be a electrician who's really firm with these kind of solar systems, or please consult an electrician who's supporting you with that. I will not answer any questions regarding how to read a circuit plan or if there are some issues with it here. Yeah, I will answer questions, specific questions to it, but not what is this black line meaning or what is this point here meaning. Yeah, I will not go into these details with anybody. If you don't understand how this basically works and what are the standard procedures for electrics, then please consult someone who understands that. Yeah. So the next thing I want to mention, or I have to mention, this is working only with a parallel setup. Yeah, I have right now 2 parallel inverters. There will be a third one coming, so I have host, slave 1, slave 2. Yeah, but the whole thing I present you right now here is only working with a parallel setup in one phase. Yeah, there are some people out there who are right now figuring out how to do this with a 3-phase setup, and they achieved some goals with it somehow, in regards of switching off a 3-phase setup, that the slave inverters, so you can have, for example, in a 3-phase setup, you need at least 3 inverters for phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Yeah, let's say it like that. But you can have a second pair, so you have in every phase a host and a slave inverter. So this means you can switch off slave inverters in a 3-phase setup, which might also be interesting in the future for some of you. Basically, I can tell you, from my former firmware version, you could not switch off any inverter in a 3-phase setup. Oh, I'm sorry. So because the three-phase setup really needs to have all phases provided at the same time. If one of the phase is not anymore active, the whole setup will go to an error state. This might have changed in some other firmwares, but I can tell you it's like that. Yeah. So the next thing I have to mention before we really dive into this, I can only guarantee and I can confirm that everything I drawed here works with the 06 hardware version, and especially on this hardware version installed the 06 F4A27 firmware. Yeah. So why I'm mentioning that, I can tell you, or I know from newer versions and other firmware versions in the even at the 06 hardware version, that those behave different when it comes to starting, switching off, and so on. And if you have one other inverter, then you have to really check first if your inverter can do this or not. I cannot give you any information for that because I only have the 06 inverters, and I recently bought a used second-hand one, a 06 inverter, because I know these are reliable and working great for this kind of setup I need here. Yeah. Okay. With that said, I think everything should be clear. Single phase setup, 06 hardware version, 06 F4A27 firmware, electric skills. Don't be an idiot. Okay, a joke. Good. Then I would say let's start with the circuit drawing, and I show you this right now here on a plan and how it looks at the moment in my test environment. Let's say it. Yeah. First of all, you need this kind of ETEC EK2R 2P100. Yeah, and this is a two-phase or two. No, it's not a two-phase. It's a two-pole ATS transfer switch, which can handle up to 100 amps of power. Yeah. It looks like this here on my plan, and it looks like this in the cabinet. It looks a little bit different here, I have to say, because usually these output pins are below these source B pins, so you can see it here. There's two pins up there and two down there, and here's nothing. Here's only the input. So I drawed it a little bit different to make it more better understandable where to what connect. Yeah. I'm not paid by ETEC. I'm not paid by ABB. I'm not paid by Tongu. Yeah. I can tell you I have these kind of components at the moment in my setup. There might be other ones. Maybe the ETEC is not really not the best, but it's quite reliable for this functionality. I can tell you, and I tested it in the last few weeks, and it's working really great. So this ETEC transfer switch you need. Then you need a B40 cable or fuse, or how it's called, a switch, which switches it over current. And B40, why it's B40? Because I know both of these inverters can handle up to 25 amps of power. So 40 is a little bit less. So if they are coming to the full power, they are switching off. But usually I never had a case that this kind of beast of switch or safety switch really getting to off state. Good. Then you might need a kind of a fuse, which I only drawed in here because I myself don't have one. I will come to this later. And you need at least two relays or contactors. with normally open contacts, yeah. So for the host you need at least 2 normally open contacts, and for the slaves you need, if you have only one slave, only one. But as we know, these inverters can be set up as a 6 parallel inverter setup in single phase. And give me a short second. So this means that you can have up to 5 slaves here. So to get a full 6 inverter setup done, you need a contactor with 6 normally open contacts, yeah, or 5 normally open contacts. But yeah, I started with those because they are the same, and they are yeah. And I have at the moment 3 inverters, so I can have a host, a slave 1, a slave 2 handled with that. Yeah, and what we also need is this kind of smart relay fuse switch, or whatever you want to call it. And why I chose this, super simple. I explained in a former video, this kind of switch you can connect via Wi-Fi to your Tuya account, and with the Tuya account you can have sceneries. You cannot only say switch on at 6 o'clock in the morning and switch off at 8 o'clock in the evening, but you can have sceneries and intelligent sceneries programmed, like, for example, switch off when the sun goes down in your area and switch on when the sun goes up in your area. Or you can also program offsets to it, or you can also connect sensors like daylight sensors or something like that, or light sensors, and switch with this kind of relay on and off. And yeah, this thing is really controlling everything here in the cabinet. Yeah, and with that said, I will come to the drawing back again. So on the e-tech, you can use, you need a few kind of contacts for connecting it to your inverters and grid and house system, yeah, house electrician system. So first of all, you have the output here, yeah, and you can see the arrows here. Here's energy coming out, here's energy coming in, and here also, yeah. So you have this AC out. So AC out, it has to be connected to the RN contacts of the output port. Then you have the port, the source B, where you connect your grid. Also be careful that you really connect phase. And so in Germany, L is phase and N is neutral, yeah. So you need to connect a grid here on the lower side of this transfer switch. Then you need the power of the inverters, or energy of the inverters, and I can tell you why I draw it like that. I have here a kind of collection or collection contacts, yeah, where you can come in with all these inverters powers, and one cable is going out, and this cable is going to this kind of fuse, yeah. And so you have to really collect all the power of your inverters and put it, the phase put in here, and getting out with the phase and getting to the contacts and also the neutral, yeah. You can see also these kind of lines, so you have to make some connections, parallel connections, but you can go through this plan and connect it really, that it's really like that, and it should work out of the box, yeah. But no warranty from my side, of course. Then you have, beside the power of the inverters, you have this host dry contact, yeah. And this is kind of special because one of those inverters, and usually it's the host inverter, and this is this inverter here, is connected to so has the connections of this kind of dry contact down there, and I use here the normally closed and the common contact, and those you can see here open when you reach, for example, battery low status. Yeah. So as these kind of wires going out of the cabinet, I draw in here a fuse, and this fuse has to be calculated for your wire diameters. That's why I don't have a special number, and I can tell you before some of you say, "Hey, you don't have this in your setup." Yeah, I don't have it because it's still in testing phase, but I will implement this soon. So most important was that I can finalize this drawing, that you can go ahead with your setups. Then you have these kind of relays, and these are these two relays here. And on the first relay, you connect the host to the free contactor. Yeah. So host is connected here and here on pin 3, pin 2 and pin 1, and on the other relay you connect your slaves, yeah, every time on one contact. And these kind of cables, and it looks here like that, this is my host, a main switch, and this is my the other contact for the host main switch. And what I can tell you, usually these inverters have this kind of weird on-off switch with only two kind of statuses, but I already explained in a former video that I have implemented or customized the switch to a switch with a 1 or with this kind of state. It's 1, this is the normal on, then 0 is off, of course, and the second one is the winter night mode setup. So I can switch in summertime, I can switch only to on mode, and the inverters behave the same. The best thing on this kind of customization is that you don't have to break any warranty seals on the inverters, so you can still use those afterwards without having any issues with the inverters, or send it into Growatt, whatever. So so I explain it again. Host inverter has to be connected to this contact, and all the slaves have to be connected to that. And with that, I think everything should be clear on that. So only one thing I want to tell you is, if you use this again for commercial use, please get in contact with me first, because to honor also the work and the time I spent into that. But for all others out there, if you are a private owner of these Growatts, feel free to use it and customize it. I hope you will share some information about your systems, and I'm happy to have some comments down there which are really related to this whole topic. With that said, I'm right now on 19 minutes. I'm signing out right now, and you can find a link to my blog and to the drawing I presented here in the video also in the description of this video. With that said, see you and enjoy your solar system. Bye.